Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today I'm going to share with you my take on a Greek salad. If you've got some of those vegetables out in your garden, bring them in and let's put this together. I'll show you how it's made. It goes together really fast and it is so tasty and delicious. So let's get started making our salad. So it is summer here where I'm at now and a lot of vegetables and things are in season and we want to utilize those best we can. And I was thinking I really wanted a salad today. And I'm going to make a Greek-inspired salad, is my take on a Greek salad. I'll be eating this by itself tonight. I'm not going to be eating fish or chicken with it or anything else. It's just going to be on its own. So I'm going to put a little bit of lettuce on mine. But traditionally, the Greek salads that I've had in the past do not have lettuce in them. So this is going to be my take on it tonight of my inspiration for Greek salads. So we're going to start with our onions. And I've got a pretty good sized red onion here. And I'm going to cut that into a quarter. So a lot of people might not like onions. I thought I would show you a little bit of a trick tonight that we'll be using for that. And I'll be using a little bit of apple cider vinegar and some honey. And we'll let these sit and we're going to kind of pickle these just for a little bit for about 15, 30 minutes, just to kind of take some of that edge off of onions. So this is just one way of doing that. And I thought I might show you that tonight of how that works. So I've got the onion here that I've cut in half. And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut it into a quarter. And you can use as much onion or as a little onion as you want. And I'm going to now take and I'm going to cut the bottom off here and cut the top off. And I'm going to take this outside skin off of it. There's a layer here that I'm going to take off and we're left with our onion here. So now I want to kind of cut these as thin as I can get them. So let's give these a cut here. All right, that is about all I'm going to do with it. I'm not going to cut any more of that up. I'll use that for something else. But you can see here that I've got little quarter ringlets and they're fairly, maybe a little bit less than a quarter of an inch, maybe an eighth of an inch here. And I'm just going to break those up until those form a little pile there. And then I'm going to get me a bowl. And then I'm going to make a mixture of my vinegar. So I've got some apple cider vinegar here with the mother in it. And I'm going to give that a little bit of shake so that we get that all combined up. And I'm going to put about a quarter of a cup in the bottom of the bowl here. Just want to kind of give it enough so that it covers the onions. And you can see how much I've put in that. Just about a quarter of a cup to cover the bottom. And then I've got a little bit of honey here. And I'm just going to drizzle in probably about a teaspoon of honey. So depending on how many you're going to be cooking for, I'm just going to make a salad for myself tonight. So that'll be enough of what I'm going to put in it. So I've got my mixture here and I've got a little spatula. And let's just give the honey and vinegar a little mix together so we get all of that incorporated. And now let's put our onions in our combination and just kind of give that a good mix through. And so that they're all have a little bit of that vinegar and honey mixture on them. And we're going to set these aside and we'll get started on our lettuce. All right, so I've got some romaine here that I'll be using and I was going to kind of show you how I'm going to prepare this. So I've given it a little bit of a light wash in the sink already with some water, but I am going to be using a salad spinner as I cut this up because a lot of these, sometimes they have a lot of sand and things in them. So I want to make sure that I get all of the inside part of the leaves and things, a good wash on those. So I'm going to cut the bottom of it off and we'll set that to the side. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it into quarters because these leaves are fairly big. So just kind of take the knife and run it through the side. And then I'm going to turn it about 90 degrees and then I'm going to run the knife through again. And that kind of gives me the little individual pieces that we'll be looking for. And so now we're going to cut it into bite-sized pieces. So just keep a good grip on it here. And if you get some of these larger leaves down on the end down here, you might want to cut those up a little bit more. And that looks pretty good. You can see that I've got these cut in little bite-sized pieces, and that's how I do my romaine. So I'm going to put it in my salad spinner now. Let me grab that. So I've got my salad spinner here, and I'm going to put my Romaine inside, and I'm going to take it over to the sink and I'm going to give this a good bath, and then we'll come back and we'll spin the water off of it because we want it to be fairly dry because we want our dressing to stick to the lettuce leaves. And if it's wet, as I'm going to be using tonight a vinaigrette, the oil and things might not stick to your lettuce very well. All right, I did give my salad a good rinse. I washed it about 3 times just to make sure that there wasn't anything lingering in any of the leaves. And now let's just give this a little spin here. And you can see how much water came out of that. Quite a bit of water has come out of that, even after it drained in the bowl there. So if you've never used one of these are a great investment, and I would highly recommend one. All right, so now that I've got my bowl here, I want to transfer my lettuce into it, and we'll get started with our other ingredients. All right, so let's move on to our other ingredients now. So I've got a English cucumber. If you've got some in your garden of the regular kind, you can definitely use those. I've got an English cucumber here. I really like these. The skin on these are not as thick as some of the ones that you can get, that you can grow. And even some of the ones you buy in the store, they've got kind of a waxy film on them. So you don't have to take the skin off of an English cucumber if you don't want to, but I'm going to. And definitely if you use one of the other ones, you might want to have to remove the skin off of them. But first off, we'll do this as I'm going to cut the ends of it off. And then I'm going to cut it in 2. And then I've got a little tool here that I'm going to use, and that just kind of pulls the skin off of it. And I'm going to take that and remove the skin off of them. Now that I've got the skin removed from the cucumber, I like these English cucumbers because the seeds, and these are really small, and you don't really have to take those out. But you can cut them in different ways that you like. I'm going to be cutting mine into quarters tonight. But if you just want to leave them into little rings, you can definitely do that. And what I mean by that is, just slice them like that and leave them just like that. But I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut it in half. Turn them over, and then I'm going to take them and cut them in half again. And then I'm going to take them and cut them into individual little pieces. And I think for the side salad that I've got tonight, I'm probably just going to use half of this cucumber. So let's go ahead and get that put into our mixture. Yep, that looks like that is going to be enough. And like I say, this is all experiment. If you're making it for a big family, then you might want to use the whole cucumber. If you're making it for 1 or 2 people, then that would be enough cucumber in your salad. So I'm going to put this to the side, and we'll go ahead and get started on our tomatoes next. All right, so I've got my cherry tomatoes here. You can use anything that you've got. If you've got tomatoes that are coming into season now, you definitely want to use those. You can use those and just cut those up into the size pieces that you like for your salad. With these little cherry tomatoes that I've got here, I'm probably just going to cut these into half and just use them like that. So I'm going to continue to work on these, and I'll be back once I get enough of these cut up. I think that is all that I'm going to be using of my cherry tomatoes today. So I'm going to bring my salad bowl back, and we will put these in and take a look and see where we're at. Again, this is just eyeballing it, not any set measurements to it. So I've got my lettuce, my cucumbers, and my tomatoes in there. So that looks like a good amount that I'll be using for my salad tonight. Now, I have a yellow pepper, and we're going to cut that up, and I'll show you how to cut that. So what I do with that is I take the knife and I just kind of run it down into the crown of it, and I take the little stem off of it here, and I pop it out, and that comes out very easily. And then you can take it, and if you want to make it into rings, you can definitely do that. And that way you would just cut the bottom off of it and just cut it into ringlets that you can use in your salad. But I'm going to cut mine up into little chunks. That's how I'm going to do mine. So I'm going to cut it down the side, and then I'm going to open it up, and I'm actually going to take these the white pieces of this out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove that, and just take the knife, and you can remove those very easily. And I'm going to take that to the sink, and I'm going to wash this out to get the rest of the seeds out of it. So now let's finish cutting up our pepper. So I'm just going to kind of cut these into strips like this, and I'm going to continue to cut those. And after I get those cut, then I'm going to take them and line them back up again, and I'm going to cut them into bite-sized pieces. probably going to use half of that based on the salad size that I've got tonight. So let's give those a sprinkle around. Actually, I'm probably going to use the whole pepper. So let's go ahead and cut the rest of it up. So now I've got all of my pepper put into my salad, and now let's start making our vinaigrette for our salad now. So we're going to start with 1 clove of garlic, and this is a fairly good sized clove of garlic, and I've cut the ends of it off. I'm just going to bang it on the side there so that I can get the skin off of it. Garlic, I'll be using my garlic press, and I'm just going to mix it in this pint jar here that I've got. And that way I can just mix everything in there together, give it a good shake, and we're ready to dress our salad up. So we're going to put the clove in, and we're going to give that a press right into the jar. And then I'm going to take 1 lemon that I've washed, and I'm going to zest it. And I've got a little zester here. And with that, you just want to grab the outside of the lemon. You don't want to get too far down into it. The white part of the lemon is bitter. So we're just going to grab the skin off the outside of it. And I'm going to put that into my jar as well. Now I'm going to take that juice of that lemon and I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to juice the lemon, and that's going into my vinaigrette also. And we're going to pour that right into the jar. All right, so I went on and measured out my other ingredients that we'll be adding into our vinaigrette tonight. And I've got 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And then I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, and we'll add that in. And then we're going to add in 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. You don't want to skimp on these, so you want to get the best of these that you can. So get you some good red wine vinegar that you like. And also I've got 1/3 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Again, we don't want to skimp on this. So we want to add all the nice flavors that you can get from a really good olive oil. So we'll add that in. And 1 ingredient that I did not put into my vinaigrette that I'll be adding into it is some Grey Poupon Dijon Mustard, and we're going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of that. And now all that's left is to give it a shake. We'll put the lid on it and we'll shake it up. At this point now you want to try the dressing to see if there's anything else you might want to add. You might want to add a little bit more salt, pepper. If you like the store-bought vinaigrettes, you might want to put a little bit of honey in it. Sometimes those have sweeteners in them. So I'm going to give this a try with this clean spoon and see if I need to add anything else to it. That is really good. I think I'm going to leave it just like it is. All right, now I'm going to put some final touches on our salad, and we'll be eating in just a minute. What a Greek salad would not be complete without some Kalamata olives. So we'll take some of those out and we'll cut those up. These are pitted. You want to make sure you get the pitted ones and not the whole ones. Even though they say they're pitted, sometimes the machine might miss one, and you definitely don't want to bite down into that pit in that. So there's 2 ways you can cut these up. You can cut these up lengthwise, where you've got, you know, that shape like that, or you can cut them in half, where you've got the 2 pieces. So it's your choice how you want to cut those up. I'll finish cutting these up and we'll put those in our salad. I've got all of my olives cut up now, and you can see here I've got about 1/2 cup of olives, and we're going to add those to our salad. Give those a good mix around. So now we've got feta cheese. This is a Greek feta cheese. It's 8-ounce block, and I'm going to crumble this up onto my salad before I dress it. So we want to kind of reserve a little bit of it back. I'm going to use that when I get ready to put it on my plate because I love feta cheese. So you can get the crumbles and things in the store if you want those. Those are fine. They do add shelf stabilizers on them, and they put ingredients in them to keep them from clumping together. So if you don't want to have those additives into your feta, then just get the block cheese and break it up yourself. All right, we've got our feta cheese on our salad, and then we're ready to eat this. As you can take a look here, we've got a really pretty salad, and all it needs now is a little bit of that dressing to go on the top of it, and we'll be ready to eat. So we'll give this one last little shake, and you can put as much of this on it as you want. If you want to wait and put this in your plate and wait till you get to the table, you can definitely do it that way and save a little bit of it back. But we're going to put a little bit on it here. So before we finish our salad up, we're going to put our onions in now, and they've been sitting over there nicely waiting for us to give them a try to see what those taste like. So I'm just going to pull one of them out to see if they're ready. Those are really good. The taste of the vinegar and a little bit of mixture of the honey in there makes that mixture come together really nicely with these onions. So let's put a few of these on our salad. And there we have it. We've got our Greek salad. And we'll definitely be enjoying this tonight. And I'm going to get this plated up in my little plate, and we'll be ready to give this a test. All right, I've got my dinner here ready to go, and I've got my salad, which looks incredible. And I did add a little bit more of that feta cheese onto the top of it, and then I did dress it up a little bit more with the dressing, and we'll give that a test here in just a second. And then I've got some French bread here that I'll be eating with it. So let's give this a try and see what this tastes like. That is really good. The hint notes of that red wine vinegar, that olive oil gives it a little bit more of a touch to it, and that lemon, just a hint of that in the background makes it just that much even better. I hope this inspires you to try my take on a Greek salad. And if you like this video, maybe you might check out one of these other two over here. You might find something else you like. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now. Don't let this one get by. Give it a try.